ZipRecruiter is a proud sponsor of Without Warning podcast. Use code word WOW and search for jobs anytime, anywhere.
The Lauren Agee case was hastily closed by authorities, but many questions remain. Come behind the curtain with private investigator Sheila Wysocki as she uncovers the truth about what happened to Lauren. This is Without Warning. Warning. The following episode contains details about sexual violence and elements that are graphic in nature.
On this episode of Without Warning, the Lauren Agee case, I am going to bring you behind the scenes. A conversation between Jeremy Taylor, Sherry, and Mike Smith. This conversation happened a month after Lauren passed. You will hear the entire conversation without any breaks in full. The second part of the episode will be me commenting on what Jeremy Taylor said to Mike and Sherry Smith. Now let's listen to Jeremy Taylor talking to Sherry and Mike Smith.
Well, do we have anything new?
No. Just I went and talked to the deputy last night, the one that was on the boat.
Yes.
Okay.
And we had us a good understanding about what needed to happen next time. Because we went down there and he said, well, I didn't think that y'all was doing your job and this and that. And he said, I was waiting for y'all to do your job and come and talk to me. I said, well, buddy, let me ask you something. Who's going to tell me that you was down there? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, who's going to tell me you're down there?
Right.
Who's going to tell me that you had, the guy said something about a gun? I said, you think he's going to volunteer that information? Say, hey, I told that guy that was on the boat I was going to take his gun. I said, so how do you suppose that I get your statement if I don't even know you're on the boat?
Right.
I said, you wasn't there when I got there.
Oh, I thought,
And he was
okay.
like,
I mean, that's what, yeah. And that's what Harry said. Harry said, I really was using, Ryan, what was his name? Was that Ryan or John?
Ryan.
That was Ryan, okay. Anyway, using him to confirm Harry's story about that.
Yeah. He told me that said that, but he said, well, I'm just waiting on y'all to do your job and come talk to me. I said, well, for one, and he's a sergeant in White County.
Okay.
And I said, so you mean to tell me if I witness something out here in White County right now, that I'm supposed to wait for you to come and ask me about it? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
And he just kind of looked at me, and I said, you have an obligation as a law enforcement, not only as a person, but as a law enforcement officer. When you suspect something is wrong, you have to tell it. That's a law. We have an obligation. We take an oath. You know, if we find something wrong, no matter what it is,
Right.
we have to tell it. We can't plead the fifth. We don't have that option. We explained something, and by the time we got done, he said, I'm so sorry. He said, I had no idea. He said, you're right. And I said, you know, that's not good, withholding information. And you going and telling somebody else, and when I've got to find out from somebody else that you was even down there, and I was on the scene, and you didn't come and tell somebody was on the scene, I said, that's pretty bad as a cop. And I said, so, and he told me everything, which, that being said, it's not him wanting off the boat, him saying that about the gun, still is not directly related, I guess, to them. It just shows a character.
Yeah.
A lot of these are showing character witness more than what happened, you know, which is fine. That's
And you guys were
you
asking
have to
me,
do both.
yeah, you guys were asking me last night or night before last, well, what's your evidence? What do you see? And I thought what Harry said is those guys changed their story like 2 or 3 times on the boat. And that's what, just the first tell of something's up here. Is that an admission? I don't know what, maybe they could have been drunk or stoned or whatever, and they just didn't understand, but they're changing the story right in front of these guys. And here's guys that had heard it, you know.
They weren't acting like people, like normal people. They were acting like people that wanted to get out of there as quick as they could.
And it's easy for us to say, wow, they're acting like people that were guilty of something. I mean, that's our connection, but honestly, they just simply weren't acting in a proper fashion. And that's for you guys to, y'all know it better than anybody. You know how somebody's going to react or not react.
Yeah, well, anytime something happens, people might act different. It's their job to figure out why.
Right.
You know, why are you acting this way? You know, there's people that I talk to, and I can say, hey, I'm Detective Taylor, and they go into a nervous jerk. You know, they're like, they don't deal well with police officers. But there's a reason that they don't deal well with police officers, whether it be a past or whether it be dealing with them. You know, it might not be them directly, but their parents. They might have seen their parents get arrested a lot. cops make them nervous, you know, and I'm not saying that with them. I'm just saying that there's always a reason, you know, and it could be a bad reason. You know,
Right.
It could be the guilty reason. It's not always innocent. It's our job to find out, and we have to dig and dig and dig to find out why. What's the history? What's the motive? You know, that's where we're at now.
So this is another piece of the puzzle that we're talking about. Just another piece.
Yeah. You know, like I said before, sometimes you have things like, boy, you know, about the gun. You know, me and Patrick was like, well, what boy? We didn't know Ryan. And then when I went down there and told him that, he was like, yeah. You know, at first he was kind of like, well, I just figured you couldn't talk to me. I said, well, how? How am I going to know that you're there? You know, there's no cameras down there. The guy is not going to tell me, hey, I told that guy about the gun. You know, I asked him about the gun. He's not going to do that. He's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I said, have you ever been an investigator? He said, no. I said, then don't tell me how to investigate. If you've never been an investigator, don't tell me how to do my job. That's kind of where he was pointing, I guess. You know, well, I think you should have done this. I said, well, I did do that. Well, I didn't see you. I said, you never seen me down there to start with. I said, I've never laid eyes on you before. He was like, you're right. I've never seen you down there, and I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, I say the whole time. I don't know what time I got down there, to be honest with you, but I wasn't there when they first found her.
Yeah.
I did show up, and I was on the scene the whole time.
Have you had a chance to talk to Harry?
I haven't went back, no. I can go and pull his stuff and go talk to him again and see and confirm what this officer said and maybe a few more things.
The video I sent you, and it's not that hard to hear. I mean, he's got a deep voice. You can kind of hear him through, and everybody was kind of drilling him with questions. Again, I don't know if that would help you. I'm sure it just is yet again, it's him telling his story just of what the situation. He didn't see anything. He said these guys just were acting guilty. They were acting not right. I don't know if he said guilty. I said they just weren't acting right. So that's kind of what started this whole thing. So.
Okay, so the emails I'm sending you, is that helping in any form or fashion?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say this one helped and this one don't, you know, because one of them that you see might not mean nothing right now.
Right.
But when I put it all together, it might be like, hey, what about this? See, what I have to do is get all the notes and then compare them.
Okay.
And so if I don't have all the notes, then I can't compare it to something. Anything is helpful.
Well, I'm going to be sending you everything I get, so just, sorry, but there's going to be a lot of stuff.
It comes straight to my phone, so I download it straight to the file.
I've sent him about 8 or 9
everything you sent me, I've got.
Okay, good. Okay.
Is Dropbox okay to send you stuff in?
I haven't opened that yet, so I'll have to fix it. It's on my phone, so I don't know if it'll let me open it. I'll have to get on the computer, and I've downloaded it, but I don't know if I've opened it. Everything else I can open fine, but that right there, it wouldn't let me open on the phone, so I'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can open such a big file. I don't know if you could open it. Although Dropbox, I think you can. I think it's just a link. We use it a lot in my business for big files. So.
Well, he said he couldn't open it on his phone.
Okay.
So.
Well, all right.
Okay.
Have y'all got anything other than emails and stuff?
Today, I mean, as I get it, I just send it on to you. You have several new emails today.
Yeah, I've got them already.
Okay, and then, of course, tonight, you know, the people out there, they're looking for stuff. They'll call me or send me stuff, or, you know, as soon as I get it, I'm just going to send it to you.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. I just forward it onto my file. I look at it, glance over it, send it to my file, and then when I sit down on my computer, I compare it all and get it together.
Okay.
A lot of times I'm out doing something or interviewing somebody. When I get them, I'll look at them and forward them on.
Okay.
Do you have anything to ask him?
No. I guess I have to go back to what we were talking about the other night. The Mike Cantrell guy down on Dock D, I think, or F, that said he saw a fire up there Sunday night. You said the TWRA was up there. He did say he saw a fire, so I don't know. I don't know what that was. So I guess that was just something that I think was worth
checking into.
And I guess other than that, we've got our ear to the ground here. Things happen every night. It seems like somebody calls with something. So
yeah,
we'll be continually sending you stuff. I guess it's hard for us sometimes to differentiate between just the speculation and pure facts. So I guess that's your job. So.
Yeah, you don't worry about that. Just whatever you got, send it on, and I'll sort through it. You know, and I'll keep it all with a case file. So everything that y'all send me will be in the case file. It'll be there. What
I try to do with each email is send you the contact information from the person that gave it to me, so you have that.
Yeah. I'll be calling your brother, I guess, and try to do a phone statement from him if he don't care.
No, not at all. And he didn't tell me this until last night because, he just never even thought about it until I talked to him and I said, look, this is what's going on. He's like, well, then there's something I need to tell you. And I said, send it to me in an email. So that's what he did last night, and that's what I forwarded to you. Please call him. That's why I put his phone number.
All right. It'll probably be tomorrow. Does he have a work schedule?
He always has his cell phone on him, so you can always reach him. He cares for my elderly parents, so he should always have his cell phone with him.
All right. Well, I'll call him tomorrow. It'll probably be around noonish, somewhere around there. I got a meeting tonight. I'm on the way to now, and it'll probably be late. And then tomorrow morning I have another meeting. So.
Okay. Regarding us?
No, it's drug related with the probation officers and probationers. It shouldn't take me too long to do either one. The one tonight, I'm going and searching some places, so that'll take forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Being nasty and all that crap.
Okay.
That's got to be fun, though. Just being a cop would be fun, I think.
Yeah. I don't have the stomach for
Well, I don't know. I just think it'd be boring.
Okay. Well, Jeremy, thank you. And like I said, anything and everything I get, I'm going to send to you. I trust you now. Okay. So I'm going to be sending
I appreciate that. Keep me updated if you find anything and just send it to me.
Okay.
Okay. We will.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That was Officer Jeremy Taylor at 5:14 p.m. on the 27th of August, 2015, on a Thursday evening.
I travel a lot. I am in and out of airports, in and out of the hot weather. And when I get home, the last thing I want to do is cook. And I'm not that great of a cook anyway. So I love to have an option when I walk through the door. I just want to eat something nutritional. That's what I love about Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest delivers thoroughly sourced, chef-created food that is built on fruits and vegetables and can be prepared in less than 5 minutes. When I got home from presenting PI Experience, I walked in the door with my luggage, opened the freezer, pulled out mint and cacao smoothie, added almond milk, put it in the blender. 5 minutes, I was drinking a delicious smoothie. Go to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code WOW to get 3 free cups to your first box. That's promo code WOW for 3 free Daily Harvest cups at dailyharvest.com, dailyharvest.com. Of course, my memories of the summer are all about being at the pool. We all know that scent is closely linked to memory, and I feel like when it comes to some of my favorite summer memories, that's definitely the case. To this day, whenever I smell suntan lotion, I instantly go back to when my kids were little and we went to the Y. Create some special memories this summer with the perfect fragrance from Fleur, P-H-L-U-R. I now travel with Fleur. I bring it to the hotels and spray my pillows and myself. It makes me feel like home when I'm not there. What I like the most about Fleur is that it's transparent and discloses every ingredient. Make new scent memories with Fleur. Go to Fleur.com today and use promo code WOW and get 20% off your first custom Fleur sample set. Pick 3 scents to try and get credit towards a full-size bottle of your favorite. That's promo code WOW at Fleur.com to get your first 3 Fleur fragrance samples at 20% off. Third Love is a proud sponsor of Without Warning. Third Love makes it convenient to be fitted. You can go online and take a quiz, get the perfect fit. Third Love has 78 bra sizes with bands ranging from 30 inches to 48 inches and cups AA to I, one of the largest in the industry. I also want to mention that their bras are extremely comfortable. I love the fabric. Third Love bras cost the same no matter the size. Same comfort, same perfect fit, same fabric, same style, same price. no matter what the size. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone, so right now they are offering my listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/warning now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/warning for 15% off today. Now listen to the same audio of Jeremy Taylor talking to Sherry and Mike Smith. However, this time you're going to hear my comments based on what the listeners told me at CrimeCon 2019 and my interns.
Well, do we have anything new?
Remember, this is a month after Lauren's death.
No, just
I believe this question caught Jeremy Taylor off guard.
I went and talked to the deputy last night, the one that was on the boat.
Yes.
Okay.
And we had us a good understanding about what needs to happen next time.
Jeremy Taylor is telling Sherry and Mike Smith that he reprimanded Ryan Melanson.
Because we went down there and he said, well, I didn't think that y'all was doing your job and this and that. And he said, I was waiting for y'all to do your job and come and talk to me. I said, well, buddy, let me ask you something. Who's going to tell me that you was down there? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, who's going to tell me you're down there?
Right.
Who's going to tell me that you had, the guy said something about a gun? I said, you think he's going to volunteer that information? Say, hey, I told that guy that was on the boat I was going to take his gun. I said, so how do you suppose that I get your statement if I don't even know you're on the boat?
Now, as a homicide detective, he should have at least known who was on the boat and who the witnesses were talking to, just at a minimum. Amanda at CrimeCon pointed out that Jeremy Taylor only knows who was there if they tell him they were there. And Lori at CrimeCon mentioned that it would be a good idea for not only the witnesses to hang around, but also the perpetrator.
Okay.
And I said, so, and he told me everything, which, that being said, him wanting off the boat, him saying that about the gun, still is not directly related, I guess, to them. It just shows a character.
Not sure how many people want to grab a police officer's gun and get off a boat. I'm not really sure if that's a character situation or a flight situation. Chelsea at CrimeCon asked, wouldn't it be Police 101 to interview the witnesses, the police officer, the people around the body? Chelsea went on further to say, had Jeremy Taylor asked those questions, who found the body, who was on the boat, then he would have known that Ryan Melanson was there.
Yeah.
A lot of these are showing character witness more than what happened, which is fine. That's
And you guys were asking
you
me,
have to do both.
yeah, you guys were asking me last night or night before last, well, what's your evidence? What do you see? And I thought what Harry said is those guys changed their story like 2 or 3 times on the boat. And that's what, just the first tell of something's up here. Is that an admission? I don't know what, maybe they could have been drunk or stoned or whatever, and they just didn't understand, but they're changing the story right in front of these guys. And here's guys that had heard it,
We haven't talked very much about Michael Smith, but he is Lauren's stepfather. And throughout this process, I consider Michael a hero. He has been Sherry's rock through this whole thing, and he has been beaten up as much as Sherry during this process. The way he handles Jeremy Taylor is very calmly and very politely trying to move Jeremy Taylor along. The intellect gap between the two is monumental. And Michael is trying to lay the foundation for Jeremy Taylor. And Jeremy Taylor just isn't getting it.
They weren't acting like people, like normal people. They were acting like people that wanted to get out of there as quick as they could.
And it's easy for us to say, wow, they're acting like people that were guilty of something. I mean, that's our connection. But honestly, they just simply weren't acting in a proper fashion. And that's for you guys y'all know it better than anybody. You know how somebody's going to react or not react.
Yeah, what?
Michael doesn't say anything mean or ugly about anyone. He is trying to tell Jeremy Taylor what he knows and to see if that matters. Unfortunately, nothing matters to Jeremy Taylor except for getting off the phone from this family. Michael is hoping that Jeremy is doing his job, and he's complimenting him in order to move him along to do his job. Jeremy Taylor has gone through the police academy. He is supposed to have the tools in order to do a homicide investigation. The only thing that I've heard so far in this conversation is that Jeremy Taylor and Sheriff Patrick Ray of DeKalb County, Tennessee, did a smackdown with Ryan Melanson because he stepped out of line by telling the truth and coming forward.
Well, anytime something happens, people might act different. It's their job to figure out why.
Right.
You know, why are you acting this way? You know, there's people that I talk to, and I can say, hey, I'm Detective Taylor, and they go into a nervous jerk. You know, they're like, they don't deal well with police officers. But there's a reason that they don't deal well with police officers, whether it be a past or whether it be dealing with them. You know, it might not be them directly, but their parents. They might have seen their parents get arrested a lot. Cops make them nervous, you know.
We know from Jeremy Taylor's deposition that he did not figure out why people were acting that way.
I'm not saying that with him. I'm just saying that there's always a reason, you know, and it could be a bad reason. You know, It could be the guilty reason. It's not always innocent. It's our job to find out, and we have to dig and dig and dig to find out why. What's the history? What's the motive? You know, that's where we're at now.
So this is another piece of the puzzle that we're talking about. Just another piece.
A month after Lauren died, Jeremy Taylor is telling the parents that he is trying to figure out the motive of why people were acting the way they were. However, he doesn't know who was on the boat, he doesn't know who was on the dock, and he hasn't interviewed any of them, so I'm not quite sure how he's going to figure it out, but let's see.
Yeah, you know, like I said before, sometimes you have things like, boy, you know, about the gun, you know, me and Patrick was like, well, what boy? We don't know Ryan. And then when I went down there and told him that, he was like, yeah. You know, at first he was kind of like, well, I just figured you couldn't talk to me. I said, well, how? How am I going to know that you're there? You know, there's no cameras down there. The guy is not going to tell me, hey, I told that guy about the gun. You know, I asked him about the gun. He's not going to do that. He's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I said, have you ever been an investigator? He said, no. I said, then don't tell me how to investigate.
I wonder how many listeners are screaming right now at the recording.
If you've never been an investigator, don't tell me how to do my job. That's kind of where he was pointing, I guess. You know, well, I think you should have done this. I said, well, I did do that. Well, I didn't see you. I said, you never seen me down there to start with. I said, I've never laid eyes on you before.
The whispering in the background are Sherry and Mike Smith realizing what they're dealing with.
He was like, you're right. I've never seen you down there, and I was there the whole time. Yeah. Well, I say the whole time. I don't know what time I got down there, to be honest with you, but I wasn't there when they first found her.
Yeah.
I did show up, and I was on the scene the whole time.
Jeremy Taylor just said to grieving parents, I did show up. Isn't it his job to show up?
You guys were asking me last night, or night before last, well, what's your evidence? What do you see?
Now we know from the deposition that Jeremy Taylor did not investigate. He is asking Michael Smith what his evidence is. I don't know if I'm dumbfounded, angry, or I want to laugh.
Have you had a chance to talk to Harry?
I haven't went back, no. I can go and pull his stuff and go talk to him again and see and confirm what this officer said and maybe a few more things.
A listener, Amanda, pointed out that words matter. Jeremy Taylor uses the word can versus will. He can do these things, not committing he will do these things.
Okay, so the emails I'm sending you, is that helping in any form or fashion?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say this one helped and this one don't, you know, because one of them that you see might not mean nothing right now.
Right.
But when I put it all together, it might be like, hey, what about this? See, what I have to do is get all the notes and then compare them.
Okay.
And so if I don't have all the notes, then I can't compare it to something. Anything is helpful.
Well, I'm going to be sending you everything I get, so just sorry, but there's going to be a lot of stuff.
Sherry is told to send everything to Jeremy Taylor by Jeremy Taylor.
It comes straight to my phone, so I download it straight to the file.
I've sent him about 8 or 9.
Everything you sent me, I've got.
Okay, good. Okay.
Is Dropbox okay to send you stuff in?
I haven't opened that yet. So I'll have to, because it's on my phone, so I don't know if it'll let me open it. I'll have to get on the computer, and I've downloaded it, but I don't know if I've opened it. Everything else I can open fine, but that right there, it wouldn't let me open on the phone, so I'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can open such a big file. I don't know if you could open it. Although Dropbox, I think you can. I think it's just a link. We use it a lot in my business for big files. So
well, he said he couldn't open it on his phone.
Okay.
So.
Well, all right.
Okay.
Again, I'm not sure if you're screaming at the recording or you're rolling your eyes. The fact that the guy who is a homicide detective can't figure out Dropbox is beyond words.
Have y'all got anything? Anything other than emails and stuff?
Okay, by this point, you're losing your voice if you're screaming at the audio. Jeremy Taylor is asking if Sherry and Mike have anything after they just sent emails that he supposedly skimmed or glanced at.
Today, I mean, as I get it, I just send it on to you. You have several new emails today.
Yeah, I've got them already.
Okay, and then, of course, tonight, you know, the people out there, they're looking for stuff. They'll call me or send me stuff, or, you know, as soon as I get it, I'm just going to send it to you.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. I just forward it onto my file. I look at it, glance over it, send it to my file, and then when I sit down on my computer, I compare it all and get it together. Okay. A lot of times I'm out doing something or interviewing somebody. When I get them, I'll look at them and forward them on.
Okay.
Do you have anything to ask him?
No.
Unfortunately, in the official file, the emails and everything that Sherry sent him were not there.
I guess I have to go back to what we were talking about the other night. The Mike Cantrell guy down on Dock D, I think, or F, that said he saw a fire up there Sunday night. You said the TWRA was up there. He did say he saw a fire, so I don't know. I don't know what that was. So I guess that was just something that I think was worth
checking into.
Michael Smith is referring to a witness who saw a fire on top of the cliff on Sunday night. We've had 2 other witnesses come forward, thanks to the media and the podcast, saying they also saw the fire. As an investigator, it is something I would follow up and did follow up on. Jeremy Taylor, however, has a different opinion and did not.
I'll keep it all with a case file, so everything that y'all send me will be in the case file. It'll be there.
That is factually incorrect. Everything was not put into the case file. Remember, the final product was 3 paragraphs long.
What I try to do with each email is send you the contact information from the person that gave it to me, so you have that.
Yeah. I'll be calling your brother, I guess, and try to do a phone statement from him if he don't care.
No, not at all. You know, and he didn't tell me this until last night because, I mean, he just never even thought about it until I talked to him and I said, look, this is what's going on. He's like, well, then there's something I need to tell you. And I said, send it to me in an email. So that's what he did last night, and that's what I forwarded to you. Please call him. That's why I put his phone number.
All right. It'll probably be tomorrow. Does he have a work schedule?
He always has his cell phone on him, so you can always reach him. He cares for my elderly parents, so he should always have his cell phone with him.
All right. Well, I'll call him tomorrow. It'll probably be around noonish, somewhere around there.
Sherry Smith's brother, Lauren's uncle, had some information that he wanted to share with Jeremy Taylor. Jeremy Taylor said he was going to call him for a statement. Of course, that wasn't done. Jeremy Taylor proceeds to tell Sherry Smith how he has to meet a probation officer and goes into detail on how busy he is. I started this podcast to get tips. This podcast has brought in tips. I also wanted to take you, the listener, behind the scenes. It is a very rough process. It is hard to listen to, and honestly, it's hard for me to put together for you all because I get so upset for this family. I want to thank the following people for sitting down and listening to this audio and crowdsourcing with me: Chelsea, Tracy, Amanda, Jenny, Lori, and of course, Mark Gillespie. A special thanks to Selena for doing all my social media and stepping up all the time to help out. On the next episode, I'm going to play another conversation between Sherry, Mike, and Jeremy Taylor. You won't want to miss it.
Lauren's family gives their full permission for any and all details to be shared in hope that the truth will come out. If you know anything at all, call 1-888-599-0008 or email tips@SheilaWysocki.com.